Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, my fellow Chibits. Please forgive me for the delay in this Toriko manga chapter review. Today has been a crazy day because a bunch of new anime has come out, and I have been, reviewing them and watching them before I can do future videos on them, like, for instance, Real Life, that released 13 episodes in one day. Yeah, it's crazy. So, it's been quite the busy day, and also Toriko, came out very late last night, like, early morning my time. So, it was crazy late. I don't know why Toriko took so long to finally get translated, but here it is. It's better late than never. So this chapter, pure 100% hype. And I gotta say, I was absolutely underestimating Acacia's power in these past couple chapters, because Acacia, he was getting whooped. He was getting the shit knocked out. I mean, he was absolutely getting kind of whooped by Toriko and everybody else, and it was still kind of impressive how some of our characters are fighting him, but I was kind of starting to look at Acacia as if he wasn't that strong. But after reading this chapter, I now change my opinion on Acacia. He was tanking multiple 8 King attacks. He was tanking these attacks like it was nothing. His durability speaks for itself. He was actually tanking what the Monkey King Bombina did. Well King, he actually did some damage to Well King, like he fucking crushed his top shell, like the shell of the moon, and then on top of that, you have it to where he's also fighting these other creatures, these high capture level beasts, and where, Sky Deer is actually helping out. It's absolutely ridiculous seeing the way his durability has been shown in this chapter. Acacia, to be able to actually fight against all the Beast Kings, and he's being able to tank their hits and then actually counter them, like what he did to Moon. He actually tried to attack Moon, and he hit Moon and broke the, shell of the moon on top of him. That was ridiculous, because it lets us know that Acacia, even though at this time, he might not have the strength to completely take them all down altogether, he at the very least has the strength to fight them off at the very least, and also be able to survive long enough for maybe he could accomplish his goal. And that was just something that surprised me when I read this chapter, just seeing him fight all these Beast Kings. And what Sky Deer did, oh my god, Sky Deer. I mean, I always assumed, well, King Moon was the most powerful. He's been hinted and implied that he is the strongest of the 8 Beast Kings. And now seeing Sky Deer and how he can, rapidly change your age, like speed up time, that's pretty fucking broken. But also, it kind of lets us know how broken Sky Deer is, and it makes me question if Well King Moon is really that powerful, because to be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed. Yes, I'm a little bit disappointed in Well King Moon when it comes to this chapter. I mean, for the most part, he seems very interesting at first. He's well, and he can actually suck everything into the dimension that is his stomach, and it's like a black hole. It's really cool. It's a really cool design, but when it comes to everything else, he seems to be very plain and generic, and he just doesn't have anything that really stands out, and it makes me disappointed, honestly. It really does, because for him to be built up as the strongest of the 8 Beast Kings, I'm disappointed that all he can pretty much do is make a black hole and suck things in, and that's about it. So hopefully we get some more with Well King Moon, and he kind of redeems himself in these upcoming chapters. But speaking of which, I want to actually go more into that. So Well King Moon, he has the shell, like, on top of his head completely crushed. And I wonder if this implies that maybe he could release something that we haven't seen before. Maybe he can use his full extent of his abilities or something. Because think about this. Bombina, he was wrapped up and he was kind of suppressing his power all the time when he's in his regular form. And when, it gets busted, he gets in that beefcake mode, which we saw after, he got punched by Acacia. So I wonder if, Well King in any way, shape, or form is similar to Bombina. For instance, the shell of the moon being broken by Acacia, I wonder if that unlocks the true potential or strength of Well King Moon, where he could use some abilities we haven't seen yet. Maybe. That's a possibility. I could be wrong, take it with a grain of salt, but maybe that could possibly happen. Now, speaking back on, the Sky Deer. So, Sky Deer, to be able to rapidly increase the actual aging of different things, and he's able to pinpoint and direct it at certain people, because you have it to where a bunch of creatures are actually not getting affected by the Sky Deer's ability at all, and only Neo/Acacia is. It lets us know that he can, like, only focus on one person, or he can just focus on a certain area, and he can hurt them, and so Acacia is getting completely fucked over. He's aging rapidly at a given pace, and he's having it to where he's having to fight these high insane level creatures to be able to survive. And I love that so much. I love how that's being shown, and how Skydeer is just so freaking ridiculous, and how even Neo could possibly die if this fight continued to go on. So yeah, the strength of the 8 Beast Kings are definitely not something we should underestimate, and also we should not underestimate the strength of Acacia after this chapter. For him to be able to tank all those hits and have that durability against all of them, all these attacks he took, we know he's incredibly powerful. So the chapter overall, it's an incredibly enjoyable chapter. It's very hype, as always, you know, when it comes to Toriko. There was some setup here and there throughout the chapter besides the 8 Beast Kings. We also have setup with Tepe, and he's apparently going to be sacrificing himself in some way. And I wonder exactly what this implies. With him saying he's, you know, willing to give up his life or he might die here, it makes me assume he's going to do something that's going to kill him, but being able to, like, you know, help out Toriko and everybody else before he finally dies. Something like that most likely is going to happen. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.